got asked to do a vid of my tool bag. I never used to like these tool bags years ago. Always used to have, I've still got, I always used to work out of a metal toolbox. But after seeing people using them, I thought I'd give one a go. This is the first one I've got. Probably had about 2 or 3 years. It's made by Makita, and as you can see, it wants a bit of a tidy out. So it's got a chain on the side with a little bar, so you can put a few rolls of tape on there. Pockets all around the outside. This is actually reflective, the white on here at night time, so it does show up if there's not a lot of light. It's got a little hook at the back so you can hang it up on something in the truck. Shoulder strap, a few pockets around the outside. What I think I'll do is I'll tip it all out and then show what I keep in there as I put it back in again. Right, that's all the tools emptied out and a few other things besides. The only problem I have with this really is it tends to go out of shape, if you can see. That's one belt hook there is sort of at 11 o'clock and the other one's at 3 o'clock here, and they should be equally distanced. And I think that's as you carry it over your shoulder it tends to twist, and then you end up with the top half is out of sync with the bottom half, and I think it's on all the little pockets end up being on the slant. But apart from that, it's not too bad. We've got a belt, no light in here. There we go. Belt hook, tape hook at the back. I see a thing in here. There's no light in my stalls. There we go. You've got about 3 pockets on one side, 3 on the other, and then the other 3 are just loops, which are open at the bottom, which are okay, except things tend to slide through and then go off on the off on an angle. Then you've got a pocket there, pocket here, one big pocket here, another big pocket there, and you can actually tuck things behind this strap as well if you want to. So it's not bad. I think I paid about £30, £35 for it. So right, that's I've straightened that out a bit more. You can see it looks a bit more of a usable shape really. Right, let's see how this is going to work. Got 3 little cutting and crimping tools. That's a wire cutter. It's just a scissor jaw rather than 2 sort of anvil ones. It's a crimping tool. That'll do the red and blue and the yellow crimps, and that's a wire stripper. They're all made by Sealy. I think they're marketed for automotive use, but I've got them because compared to some normal pliers or wire cutters, they're quite compact, so they quite lend themselves to being in here. And also sometimes when you're working on stuff you need something, you need some cutters and you can't get the full size ones in. They tend to live in a group of 3 and they go in one of these little pockets. Fake 'em wire cutters. They go in another one of these little pockets. I got these brittle, I think. I got these cheap. I think they've changed the design, and this was the old model, but they're rated for mains, live working, chrome plated, because I use them mostly on pulling filters out of water solenoids, so I thought the chrome would stop them going musty. They live in another one of these little pockets. I'm not really. They don't tend to have a specific pocket. They just get put anywhere they'll fit, really. Got a volt stick that goes in one of these little loop things down the front there that doesn't really go all the way to the bottom. Got a mirror on a stick that's telescopic. And there. Will extend out to about 18 inches, I suppose. And that goes in one of these little pockets. I've got magnet that's made by was made by Rolson. I'm slightly ashamed to admit that. So I've had some of their stuff. It's not the best quality, but saying that does the job. It's quite a strong magnet. If you dropped a tool somewhere or a screw, you can pick that up. And that lives in not on the floor. That lives in little pockets down there. Got an old AA battery. Yeah, AA's. It is AA's Maglite. It was originally red. It's got a little Stanley knife snap-off blade cutter, and that fits down one of these little pockets as well. Got some water pump pliers or slip joint pliers made by Jedor, I think it is, Gedore, which I think is a German make. The good thing with these is you've got a button, so they lock, so you can set them where you want. Some of the other ones you put them down and they'll adjust themselves, but these are quite good. If I've got tools I think they're going to get mixed up with a friend of mine's if I'm working with them. I've got some yellow paint in a little touch-up bottle. I tend to put a dab of yellow paint on things that might get mixed up, which is always worth doing if you work with people who are either forgetful or not very honest. I've got a little brush which I got from the DIY store for about £1, I think, £2, £1.99. It's meant for cleaning the grouting on tiles, but it's ideal for brushing things away and cleaning a coil or something. Just general duties really. That's in the back there. And we've got 3 Torx screwdrivers. That's like the star-shaped ends on there. Various sizes. That's a T25, T10 and a T15. Some motor terminal box covers have these on now, and the Danfoss expansion valve file clamps now have a Torx end on there. I think you can either do it with a Torx or a flathead. You get better purchase with one of these, so they all go in one of them. We've got a little terminal screwdriver, which is 3.5mm on the tip. Another one made by Facom, which is a nice little screwdriver. Then we've got a, I think this is 2.5mm hex Allen key, hex head ball shaped end on there. This is made by a company called King Dick. It's an old English company, I think. Used to have a little bulldog as their mascot, and that kind of lives in one of these little ones as well. And we've got 7mm nut driver, which is quite a nice finish to it. Made by another one made by King Dick. That goes in one of these. Then we've got a ratchet screwdriver, which is you can turn that and it's locked, or the other way, and it's ratchets the other way. It takes the 1/4 inch bits in there, and it's got storage for 6 more in the handle that lives in where I am. Then we've got Irwin, I think it's an 11 in 1 or something. We've got Phillips and flat, a nut driver obviously. On this end we've got a smaller Phillips and a smaller flat, and a smaller nut driver. And if we take this out, we've got a bigger nut driver. On this end we've got the 2 of the square bits, which I think are Robertson bits, which is surprisingly useful. That's probably my favourite screwdriver. It goes in there. And I've got another one, which is I think it's a 6 in 1. This is made by Draper. But the difference is this has got a posi drive end and not a Phillips end. So it's different. It looks similar, but it's different. I'll have to do a little video on them. And then the other end we've got smaller sizes again. That's posi drive and not Phillips. It's about $2.99 I think, or something, on eBay. Got some solder, which lives in here just because it hasn't really got anywhere else to live, and I know where to look for it if it's in there. Carpenter's pencil, always handy to be able to make a note of something. I found that in there. That's obviously gone missing and been in the bottom for ages. Electrical tape, doesn't need any explanation. Well, I hope not anyway. Panel key. It's got different shapes. I've got triangle, I do gas meters, 2 square drives, and whatever you want to call that. I've recently bought this because this key used to live in the other toolbox. I've recently got this little one which does the same job, but it's a lot more compact, and it also comes with this little plastic bit that goes in here, and then you've got a double-ended screwdriver piece, which I assume plastic in some way, give you a bit of insulation, I don't know, or anyway, which I thought I'm going to keep in here, and this I'm going to put back in the other toolbox, which is where that used to live. That is in the front, and there's got pockets. We've got a wire stripper which shouldn't be in there, but it's been in there for a while. You can I don't know if I've got any cable lying about. Short piece. Oh, there we go. Piece of cable there. You can put that on. I think the idea is you can spin it round and then slide it down like that, and it should. Probably not set deep enough. It's not far off. There we go. It's a bit cold out in the garage, so the plastics. There we go. I've just managed to tear that. That's where it's cut round, and then you can. So that's that. CK. I think it's made by CK. I think it was quite expensive, that. I think that was back when I was employed. I think my previous employer might have bought that. I don't know. And then we've also found in there a bit of cleaning mat, which is handy for cleaning things up, pipe or something before you brazing. That doesn't belong in there, but that's my plug-in tester for checking if the sockets are wired up. 3-pin sockets are wired up correctly. Depends what lights are lit up. Should all be on if it's okay. And finally, keep my tester in there, which a few weeks after getting it I dropped it and it's broken the catch on the battery compartment, which is why you can hear it rattling. That's quite a good little tester. It's got a backlit display. If you push and hold the button down, you've got a torch, which is surprisingly useful. It seems a bit of a gimmick, but it is useful. It does AC and DC, continuity and ohms, but only sort of a few ohms. It won't be any good for doing, you know, like a few thousand or anything. It goes out of range. And the handy thing is it does capacitance as well, which is good for checking fan motors and things without getting your fluke meter out of the bag or something. So that's that. That just is in the centre, like that. I've been looking out to get a little plastic tub or something on the chain, ideally, that I can put crimps in. So I used to have years ago a old film tub. Used to keep a few crimps in there, just enough to get you going. Save going to the van to get them. But the sun's come out now. That's my my little tool bag. There's enough space in there. You can put some spanners in there or anything else you're working with. If needs be.